ra đề. Và tiếp theo đây chúng tôi xin mời nữ sĩ Việt Nam.
Chúng tôi trân trọng giới thiệu tiến sĩ Ananda Guruje, đại sứ Thích Lan và tại Liên Hiệp Quốc và phó chủ tịch Hội Liên hiệp Phật giáo Thế giới. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ambassador Ananda Guruje, former ambassador of Sri Lanka at the United Nations and vice president of the World Fellowship of Buddhists. Và tất cả có lẽ là quý Phật tử ở đây sẽ nhớ rằng đại sứ đã được mời về Hà Nội năm ngoái để tham dự đại lễ Vesak, nhưng mà đại sứ đã từ chối và đã đến dự cái lễ thọ tang của đại lão hòa thượng Thích Thượng QUANG tại chùa Đức Pháp. Và xin mời hoan hỷ anh biết là thượng tọa Thích Giác Đảng có thể lời dịch bằng Anh ngữ cho đại sứ. Vì chị đang dịch thế nào cũng cả lâm, thành ra xin mời.
Venerable members of the Mahasangha, distinguished guests, we are here to commemorate a very sad event. In the life of Vietnam, I have seen the turning point, because from 1969 to 1975, it had been my pleasure to visit once every 3 months from Bangkok and be an advisor to the education ministry of the Saigon or the South Vietnam. It is at that time that I realized, as a Buddhist, that Vietnam, with 80% of the population as Buddhists, needed to be better organized, better represented, and that the changes that were taken in the world had to certainly involve the Buddhists of Vietnam. In 1964, when the Unified Buddhist Church was established, with these two very important people as the live wires, Most Venerable QUANG and also the Venerable THÍCH. They were described by my colleagues and friends in South Vietnam at that time as the two high pedigreed horses that could take the, if it is a chariot of Buddhism, not only to the whole Vietnam, you know the history of that particular period with regard to religious freedom, religious persecution, but to the whole world. When in 1977, I must say, I missed being present at the fall of Vietnam by just 15 days. If I did not go to Bangkok to celebrate the Signal and New Year with my wife, I would have been one of those people whom the United Nations will have to rescue after the fall of Saigon. But 15 days I avoided it, but I was aware of the great suffering that was coming as a result of misunderstandings, as a result of not being able to reconcile, as a result of many other factors which we know when the countries are in trouble, all these things happen. But in 1977, 2 years after the fall of Saigon, the Most Venerable QUANG addressed the government and asked for just 3 things. He said, let there be democracy, let there be multi-party political organization, and let there be religious freedom. These are 3 most wonderful, most important human rights, and I am very happy that over 60 years I have been fighting for these same values. So you could understand why I stand before you to hail this great religious leader, the religious dignitary who presented these It is our tradition in Buddhist countries that we hold our most venerable members of the Sangha as advisors. In my country, the Buddhist monks are even superior in the order of precedence to the president of the country. If the president of Sri Lanka was here, he would have been seated behind the Mahasangha, because we think that they are equipped to lead us spiritually. And their advice is objective. They talk for the people. In 1982, he once again repeated the same request, and what happened to him? That was the time when he was taken. He was imprisoned, and ever since he had, up to his death, never seen what freedom is. Imagine if such a lovely, lively person had the chance to be followed, the chance to lead the people in the correct direction. The three most important of human rights: democracy, multi-party government, and religious freedom would have been celebrated in Vietnam, and all of us will be very happy to be a part of this country's development. I love Vietnam. I have a great feeling for the country because I was able to change much of the educational system in the South, and this is why, and as a Buddhist, I feel that there's much that needs to be done. So I stand today here to remind you of one of the most important messages that he gave the world. In 1999, when we had the 8th conference of the Unified Buddhist Church, not very far from here, in Santana, 20,000 Vietnamese were represented at that important occasion. And the message of the most venerable QUANG was this: at no time in the history has so many Vietnamese been out of the country, settled well in various parts of the world. Use that as an opportunity to spread Buddhism. I bow down to Venerable Dr. THÍCH and all my Vietnamese Buddhist monks, the Buddhist nuns of this country, because of the many things that he preached. This one message, take Buddhism to the world, has been so effectively implemented. And today when we commemorate him, let us say, many things happen in the world, but all things ultimately happen for the good, if you are prepared to look at the good. And the advice of the most venerable Supreme Patriarch is, let us take Buddhism to the world. And you have already begun, Venerable Dr. THÍCH and all our monks and nuns of the Vietnamese and the Sri Lankan. I'm very happy to see so many Sri Lankan Mahatheras here. We are together in carrying out this wonderful mission that he thought that we can fulfill. As a little token of my appreciation of what the Buddhist clergy is doing, I have decided to donate my personal library, which consists of quite a number of valuable Buddhist books, to this monastery, so that the Venerable Dr. THÍCH